What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And as many of you may know, this last weekend, the Video Game Awards, or as they're now known, the VGX, I don't even know what the X stands for, was this last weekend broadcast on Spike TV, on Gametrailers.com, on Twitch, and you can see it pretty much on the internet and on consoles. It's a 3-hour show, and this year's show was particularly worse than previous years. So much so that I was very vocal about it on Twitter, and I was very vocal about it on Tumblr, where I wrote an open letter to Spike TV, Gametrailers, and Geoff Keighley, the host. And I want to talk about all of that here and now. But before I can do that, we have to talk about me for just 1 second. It's very true that I do something very similar on my YouTube channel that they do there. I poke fun at gamers. I poke fun of gamer stereotypes. I poke fun of people in the industry. I make fun of everything. I satire it all, and more importantly, I make fun of myself, of my fatness, of my obsession with games, of the person that I am, and I go as far as I've invented a character who is the quintessential stereotype of gaming nerds, fat, antisocial, rage-filled, everything that's wrong with gaming. And so when I complain about this particular topic, I am certainly the pot calling the kettle black. That's why I put my black shirt on for this video, because I know that I'm being hypocritical here. But I think there's a big difference between me doing it and Viacom doing it, Spike TV doing it. I do it for an audience of 1 million. Most of my videos get seen by 100,000 if I'm lucky. This is national, worldwide television spread over the internet, and I'm just some fat guy in his bedroom with a web camera making internet videos, writing my own jokes with a zero value, production value, making up shit off the top of my head as I go, okay? And at the end of the day, I'm pretty fucking talentless. There certainly should be a higher level of quality, a higher level of accountability, more talent, better jokes, and a higher production value than my 2-bit talentless dog and pony show that I'm putting together here. And if your stuff is as embarrassing as mine, then shit needs to get fixed. A lot of people watched the VGX this year, and a lot of people immediately took the internet to complain about it. And one of the most interesting questions that I had on my Twitter feed was, if you know it's going to be bad, why would you watch it? And I think the easy answer for that, for most people, is that we are hoping this year it will be good. We're hoping this year they'll get it right. We're hoping this year it will be the Video Game Awards show that we're all wanting and that we all think that our industry deserves. For the record, the 2013 awards was absolutely not that. In fact, it was probably as far from that as you could possibly get if you went out of your way to try. Some people feel that Geoff Keighley did a bad job. I feel like he did a pretty good job. He did the job that we've come to know and expect from him. He's pretty subservient to the gaming industry. He really likes the people in the industry. He definitely does care about turning a buck, and he's willing to play ball. That's what we know about him. And certainly he's not a critic by any stretch of the imagination. He's a presenter, he's an MC, and he does a good job at that, in my opinion. Hell, I like Geoff Keighley, and I truly know that he's a gamer, and I truly think that he cares about gaming and the industry. Joel McHale, on the other hand, some people really enjoyed his performance. Other people were pretty annoyed by it. You can put me in the annoyed camp. Not that I don't like Joel McHale. I think he's a great guy, and I think he could have been a great host, but at some point he went completely off prompt and started really being almost combative. He was pushing developers in awkward directions, answering very painfully awkward questions. I liked it when he pushed people for release dates, and I liked it when he even ribbed Geoff Keighley a little bit about, maybe the clothes he was wearing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I found his behavior bizarre. But what really bothered me about his behavior is when he stooped to my level and started making jokes about stereotypes and stereotypical gamers. I certainly don't turn into a national show for that. I certainly don't expect somebody to pull the shit that I pull on a daily basis. And the biggest difference between me and Joel McHale is that all of those stereotypes that I make fun of, I encompass. I used to live with my mother as an adult. I was a virgin for a really long time. I eat, sleep, and breathe video games. I feel like when I make fun of that stuff, I have the right because I'm making fun of myself. And personally, I could be wrong, but I don't think Joel lives with his mother. I don't think he's a virgin, and I don't think he dedicated his life to video games or will anytime soon. And when it comes from someone like that, I find it hurtful. Not that there's anything wrong with being a virgin, and not that there's wrong with anything with living with your parents, and not that there's anything wrong with being a gamer, or looking different, or being physically different, or being an introvert, or being socially awkward. There's nothing, I hate to say it again, but it bears repeating. I love you for who you are, and if that's what you want for yourself, go for it. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. And I don't care the choices you make. As long as you love yourself, I love you too. And there's a huge list of other problems wrong with this year's show, besides Joel McHale and Geoff Keighley being very awkward together. Whether it was the fact that so many of the awards, which we're there for, were presented off screen, whether it was the fact that there was so much product placement, whether it was the fact that you could just tell you guys didn't take the show very seriously, the fact that it was not well rehearsed, the fact that the production value was lower than it's ever been, so much wrong with it. And I'm not going to sit here and just badmouth it. You guys know what you did wrong. And if you don't, you can check NeoGAF, you can check Reddit, you can check Twitter. They'll be glad to tell you. What I am here to tell you is that we want this show to be good. At the very least, we want it to be watchable. But we like it to be good. We would like the production value to be high. We would like it if you took the show seriously. We'd like it if you took the industry seriously. You know, gaming is very important. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's one of the most amazing storytelling devices we've ever had, and the games are phenomenal. So many people these days dedicate their lives to gaming. We spend as much as people do on cable television, as much as we do for books, certainly outselling books, as much as we do on movies, and yet this industry still can't be taken seriously by anybody other than the people making the games and the people playing them. And it doesn't make sense because there's a high-end award show for books, for music, for publishing, for television, for films. Why don't we get that too? And why aren't you the guys to create it? Because, you know, when someone tells me they spent their Friday and Saturday night playing video games, I don't think of them as a loser. Certainly any more of a loser than someone who spent their Friday and Saturday nights watching television with their families, or going out on a date to see movies, or sitting at home and reading a book. These are all equal opportunity values for me, and if those other activities can be respected, gaming deserves to be respected too. And when we talk about the lead designers of Naughty Dog, I don't think of coding nerds and geeks. I think of some of the best storytellers of our age, of our lifetimes. And when I see someone like Troy Baker acting his heart out, I see one of the finest performers I've ever seen. So to summarize, let me try to put it this way. Here on my YouTube channel, what I do is satire. It's low budget, armchair criticism, and I'm pretty much full of shit. I make fun of myself every single day, and when I do, I make fun of gaming as a whole, the gamers as a whole, and that's what I do. I do not treat my industry with as much respect as I can, as I should, and that's why I make these serious videos too, by the way, because I'm trying to make up for the damage that I do. It's time you make up for the damage you've done, because the gamers who play these games are worthy of respect. The people who make these games are worthy of respect. And you, Viacom, Spike, Joe McHale, Geoff Keighley, Gametrailers.com, you are worthy of respect if you earn it, and we will give it to you if you can show us that respect back. You got a whole other chance to do it in 2014 if your show doesn't get shit canned, and I think that's a real opportunity. Seize the day. Make it better, please. I know somewhere in there you know it's right and you want it. And trust us, we want it to.